Hello and welcome back to Universal Laws with Kristy Sturdivant. I am here with Candace Bethel today, and we are going to be talking about the energies happening around us and momentum and spinning and all kinds of good stuff. So, hey Candace, how's it going?
Hi, Kristy. It's good. I'm so happy to be here. And yeah, the energies are wild right now, coming off of the eclipse.
Oh my gosh, the eclipse was so intense. We were just talking about this before we hopped on, and I was telling Candace how I do feel this collective urge to go, go, go. It's that fire horse energy. But at the same time, the eclipse was like, calm down, take a breath, see what's right and everything. But there is this serious push and pull. And Candace gave me the visual of a top spinning around in circles. So can you elaborate on that a little bit?
Yeah, absolutely. So that top that you're visualizing is spinning around in circles. It's spinning around in circles all the way around us, just like spin, 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 making us feel this pressure. And I think it's coming from our root. Most people are feeling it from the root, whether you're feeling it from your own personal defined pressure or collective pressure. We're feeling this like something has to happen. And right now, when something big is going to happen this year, which makes us feel like we have to go, we have to push, we have to do. And that fire from that fire horse energy is so powerful. But it is fire horse. So all of that push, 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 go that we're feeling from the fire, we have to pause. The eclipse asked us to rest. Everything that happened in the eclipse was echoing, please slow down, please rest. I know you want to go. Maybe there's even signs for you to go, but it's actually time for you to rest and pause and nurture everything around you, mostly yourself, so that we can hear the internal dialogue of what needs to happen. And then, and only then, when we hear that internal dialogue, does that fire kick on in a really useful way. Because if you're not going in and listening to what needs to happen, it's we're following the top and we're just spinning with
Mm.
it. And that's no fun. Like spinning, like we could get like nothing done in a whole day spinning. I know we've all done this. So if you feel like you're spinning and you feel like you need to do something, but do something inward, like come in, pause, meditate. And if you've never meditated, that's okay. Like you can just pull in a vibration, pull in love, gratitude, a higher frequency, and just focus on that until the brain quiets.
Okay, I love this. All right, I'm going to throw this at you, even though I didn't prep you for this, but let's talk a bit about the root center and kind of how it works. Now, the root center, very bottom center in our graphs, I have a defined root center. How about you?
I also have a defined root center.
Okay, so we have, as defined root centers, you typically have this very cyclical, like this is my beat. I march to this beat. This is how this is. And in my household, we have four people. Three of us have defined root centers, but my husband has an undefined root center. And so there is no rhythm there. There's no timeline. We all have to kind of almost bow to his wide open root center. And I feel that right now the world is reflecting that open root center where it just feels very much like, oh my gosh, I can't grasp anything to even make an aligned action. Can you give me your perspective on the root center and how you see it and work with it?
Yeah. So that root center and the human design, it's in our frequency field. It's, the root chakra, or in that area. It's our defined safety. Um, like, and me and you have it defined, but if you don't have it defined, you have an even harder time feeling safe in your body and safe in your world. So those open centers right now are literally hearing pressure from all of the collective, the fear, the anxiety, everything that's going on that they're focusing on there's pressure in that root to change it or to not even change it. It's like what I'm seeing is the fear around it. People are just like so afraid of what's happening. And that's kind of done on purpose, I believe. Like it looks like it's been done on purpose. If you're watching social media, you're watching the news, like there's so much fear mongering. And those open centers, if they're not doing any frequency work coming or doing any sort of self work, coming back to the soul, coming back to their own energy, they don't understand what their energy feels like. They're really just getting the collective and they don't understand why they feel so scared, so much anxiety. And I've actually like, I'm seeing either like people it's like catastrophic like sides of it, right? Like some people think the world is actually ending. I have had clients like this is it, this is the dawn of the days, like and and then I have the other end of it where people are like, oh no, we know this has to happen. Like collectively the world hasn't worked for really anybody except for old white men, maybe a couple other men, but the world really hasn't worked for the humanity since we have been in it. And it's just shifting, and that's uncomfortable.
It is uncomfortable and it does feel like even as a defined root center, I can still feel that pressure probably in my open channels between my
Mhm.
root and spleen to where it does just feel like so much fear and so many different types of fears. So, what can we do as someone who has an undefined root? And we can't go around like asking everybody if they have an open or defined root center, even though that would be really nice, right? If we just were able to like show that up, like this is what my human design chart looks like, this is what my astrological chart looks like, to just get that quick, hey, what you got going on? We can't. So, how, if we do not have those defined, what are some of your tips and tricks to kind of ground yourself even more other than your normal, going outside and laying on the ground in the middle of spring slash winter?
I mean, I do love that.
Yes.
I really highly recommend if you're listening to this and you don't know your human design, hit one of us up, get a free reading online, like whatever you need to do. Like it is a really fun deep dive if you like that kind of stuff because like you just mentioned, you're probably feeling this pressure from your other open centers. If you have a defined open root, and anywhere it can, or defined open, if you have an open undefined root, it can go anywhere. So it's going to be talking to you from different areas of your body. So it would be really helpful for you to specifically know. That being said, it's the most important thing to do to come back to that area of your body is get as still and as quiet as possible. Uh, my favorite for that is chanting Om, which I think that we have done before. And the Om goes from the throat all the way down into like I focus the energy, like intention down into the pelvic floor while we're doing this rocking back and forth. And it's a very slow. The other couple things that you can do, if you're really kind of struggling with this energy right now and feeling stuck, you can lay on the ground on like a yoga mat with your feet on the ground, knees up, and then let your knees just rock back and forth really slowly from side to side for a few minutes while you're taking deep belly breaths. And that can really, really help too. Also, if you guys don't have a Shakti mat, if you don't know what that is, it's I call it a pokey mat. It's a bed of nails. But it's plastic. I highly, highly recommend it. It relaxes the fascia, and it really helps the body just relax at least 50% without having to do anything but lay down. Um, we can put a code in the whatever that is. Kristy knows what I'm talking about.
Yep, yep.
For
The
all y'all
description. I got
later in
that.
the description. Yeah, that. Thank you. Um, but if you would like to do the exercise really quick, we could do that
Yeah,
too.
let's do it. Let's do it.
Okay. So you can do this with your eyes open or closed. Obviously, if you're driving, you can do the sound, but the movement might be a little harder. So you scoot to the edge of your chair and your knees are open so that your hips are open wide. And you can do this back and forth, rocking back and forth on your pelvic floor. And then the breath is forward. So you take a deep breath in forward on the exhale. Just oh, deep inhale into the belly. Oh. And when you're doing that, you want to see, feel, or imagine that the Om is going all the way down and that the inside of your body is a sound resonance chamber. And you're going to feel the Om like Om up and down in your body. And you'll want to do that for at least 3 minutes. But if you want to practice more, it takes about 10 minutes for that parasympathetic nervous system to just take a deep breath and be like, oh, okay, now I feel good.
Oh, I love that. I love that. It feels like my tailbone is getting tethered to the earth, which is what you want right now, right?
Yeah. Yeah. And you are also welcome to add, like, a beam coming out of your spine, connecting to earth from root, or, having your nervous system. I like opening up the pores of my feet or like the base of my body and just letting the nervous system go into the earth like roots and connecting to the mycelium and the roots of the earth. There's always add-ons.
Ooh, I like that. I like that. It's amazing how when we visualize these things, we can actually ground ourselves pretty easily with our mind. Our mind is the first thing that's going to spin out and make us feel a little bit wackadoo, but it's also the thing that can bring us back into our body quickest too. So
Yeah,
don't
if
let the mind spin.
we can just like connect to a different frequency, that helps the mind just kind of shut down really quick because it doesn't know where we're going. So it doesn't have a forward and it doesn't have a backward. So it's just kind of listening to whatever you're doing. And then once the frequency is raised, you just feel better and you can take a breath and come from clarity.
Yes, yes, I love that. Okay, this is a really good practice to do if you are feeling slightly off. What do you think about the energies around us? I mean, anchoring ourselves down into the earth and grounding ourselves down to the earth is really, really helpful. Sitting in stillness is really, really helpful, but sometimes it just feels like a little bit too much. What are some of your thoughts on taking like no taking action? We don't take action right now. We should take action, aligned action. Like in a human design sense, we would be doing this based on our authorities. But if you're not in your
Right.
body, sometimes that's tough too.
I I personally always believe from coming from aligned action, which means that we have to get still. We cannot find aligned action in chaos. You cannot wake up in the morning and just go and be in aligned action. It would be nice, but it doesn't quite work that way. We have to wake up every morning and be like, take a deep breath. How do I feel? Check in with yourself. I literally do breath work every morning before I get out of bed so that no matter what is happening, I've raised my frequency and then I check in again. And uh, and I am hyper aware this is my world, this is what I do, so I am constantly checking in with how I feel and correcting it. Um, but I can tell you 10 years ago, I didn't feel amazing and I didn't have all of these tools. And I would spin every day. Every night, I would go through what I call this negative hole of hell. Maybe this was longer than 10, I guess that's about like 15 years ago now. But I remember waking up one day and I finally felt good for the first time. And I was in my 30s. And it was so eye-opening because I spent most of the day realizing that I don't remember when I'd ever felt that good before. And so if one person waking up in their 30s feeling good for the first time, I know there are other people out there that have never felt their own energy and never felt good and would really like to.
It's a game changer. It's a game changer. Like to know what you feel like and to like kind of just clear everything out. It can really just it can stop the spinning because I think when we do wake up and we just go, 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 we are not building any momentum at all. We are just throwing all of our energy out like we're splattering paint on a wall. It's no good. So
Right.
you have to be able to take some aligned action.
When we get up and just go, we are going in the collective dream energy from whatever dreams we just had, whatever the collective around us, although waking collective, and whatever our dreams were. That's what we're going at. We're not going at where we want to be going or where we necessarily should be going, right? Or we're going at the energy that we were sleeping in.
Ooh, that's an interesting topic that I am going to tease. You guys will have to tune in for next week, where we are going to be talking about dream momentum in the collective and how we can break free from that. But for today, practice your ohms and your tethering to the earth through a light beam or whatever, and try to work on getting into your own energy. Any tips you want to leave anybody with, Candace?
Your own energy is very positive. Your soul's energy, your personal frequency is the most beautiful energy you will ever personally feel. So if you don't feel that way, keep tuning in or connect with me because it's supposed to be the best thing you've ever felt. And I'm so excited to talk about the dreams and the dream rave.
It's gonna be fun. You'll have to tune into next week. But until then, have a great one, and we will see you then. Thanks, Candace.
Bye.